Many people say that drawing is the basis of all art. To be involved in drawing, you really need only pretty simple materials. We'll begin with a pencil, a rubber, and probably a pencil sharpener. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. If we look over here, we'll see a whole selection of pencils. Zoom in a little bit, and we'll see they all have different numbers and letters on the back end. That tells us how soft the pencils are. You can see from the box which ones I use most often. Generally we're looking at pencils between the HB and say the 4B range. So what's the difference between these pencils? Let's start with the 9B pencil. What you'll notice is that it's very, very, very black indeed, and when we draw with it, the point wears down very quickly. If we change over to a 2B pencil, we get a slightly sharper line, the marks we make are a little bit less black, and the pencil lasts a little bit longer. HB goes on a little bit further, again it's a little bit less dark and a little bit harder. Get onto a 2H pencil, really not so good for drawing with, better for doing diagram drawing with, because it produces a much greyer line, sharper, harder edge. And so you can see there's quite a range from one to the other. Yeah, if I have to choose, mostly I'll work with 2B or an HB, maybe a little bit softer, 3B, 4B, but that's the sort of range you should be looking at for making a drawing for your art homework. Before you start drawing, a good idea is to sharpen up your pencil. Too many drawings are made using blunt pencils. Make sure you start with a decent point. It produces sharper, cleaner, clearer lines. And when it comes to shading, you get more control if you're working with a decent point than with a big, thick, flat-ended thing. So, to summarise, make use of a 2B, HB pencil. Make sure you sharpen them up, give them a decent point, get yourself a decent pencil sharpener for that. And finally, your rubber. Make sure it's a fairly clean rubber, not too hard, which is going to make a mess if you're drawing when you have to rub something out. Try not to use it too much though.